Greetings, I'm joining tonight's broadcast on this eve of the end of the world. So January 6th, and alien disclosure and Atlantean timelines, or timeline. However you want to look at that. Okay, so I'm not going to do any predictions of where this is going. I'm just leaving it open. I feel like a buzz right when I'm connected to it. So January 6th, no, obviously nothing's worked out for Trump recently. So it's really hard to say where things are going to go. There's also a timeline where there's a military president, which is possible. Anything is possible right now. I mean, I have to be honest with it. I would actually prefer a military president. I mean, there's already a secret president here already. Why not see who's really, I don't know what the likelihood is. I'm going to do another. Tomorrow I'm going to go into January 6th again. Also, so you'll see that in the title again. So does this go to alien disclosure in some form? Yes. Not fully, but we are, again, that timeline of basically like self-disclosure, going into of disclosing ourselves, what we are, what we're connected to, and leaving the media and all of this politics, leaving, removing that from the mind and connecting more to ourselves. And that's complicated enough as it is. Especially remember your galactic self and how you don't get along with other galactic people that are here, world annihilations, whatever it is. I mean, that right there is, just figuring ourselves out is enough drama as it is. All those distractions keep us from ourselves. So as you start unraveling who we are here, that's going to be a whole nother era. And that's obviously been going through this for a while, but I believe it's going to get easier and easier. I mean, it'll be sounding crazy already as it is, like a secret space program, things like that. And there's going to be many that are going to be holding on to the physical reality as long as they can. But there are even alien beings that are very physical and live in kind of like a box reality. It's just going to become more complicated, that's all. So January 6th, it's really hard to say Trump or Biden or what. I'm not going to go there, but I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to see where things end up to, plan out to, whatever. So Atlantean timeline. This is not just a little bit technically we're out of Atlantean Lemurian timeline, but give you another. Obviously, everyone has their own points of view of Atlantis. I'm gonna bring up Atlantean being here. I'm also going to have a surprise guest also. Atlantis, just going to put this out there. I know people are going to take it in, but so Atlanteans are doing, doing their own genetic engineering. And they form the body in a way at their vibration, or the hybrids that they're creating, the human hybrids they're working on, things like that. The human hybrids that, but once Atlantis fell, at least the energy I'm receiving is the humans that were developed through Atlantis were no longer functioning anymore. They broke down. Not all of them did, but quite a few of them. They went insane. Some of them did. They just weren't, because remember their internal, the intestines are all different. So the Anunnaki came to kind of rearrange a lot of it for it to be more working to where things are at the third dimensional level or fourth dimension, however you want to look at it. This thing. So it gives you. So yeah. So when the Atlanteans are here, the humans here, Atlanteans and humans are. I don't know if they had the same internals, but from I'm gathering, the humans that were created through the Atlanteans were similar to the Atlanteans. And yeah, once that Atlantean energy started to die out, they broke down. So It's different. Um, and that's why the Anunnaki came in to do it as they did. So it's one point of view. I take it as you like. So, all right, do give an update. Of course, I don't know where I'm at this point. That's Hillary Clinton, if anybody's wondering. So I've been told I come my prep sessions. The shop here. I'm on, I think, the 27th. Yeah, I'm on the 27th of January. Same situation here. Social network. That's the webinar to sign up. Social network. Rabbit and behind the scenes connections there. Jeez, a long guy. Yeah. All right. Okay, we'll do special guests, and maybe I'll bring the Atlantean in first and go into that. So, January 6th, and yeah, alien disclosure, and we'll just see where it comes through else. So, our blessings. There we go. Greetings, reality Atlanteans. Greetings to you. Yes, there's a lot of shape-shifting energies, timeline shifts. But also humans are shape-shifting. You might not always see it in your third eye. But actually, humans shift all the time. As you go into more of a higher vibration of fourth dimension, you'll see more clearly. It'll be, you might even see people turn into a turtle. You see their roots. Why? Because there are a lot of turtle people here. You might know. Some of them are in Congress currently. That's why they move so slowly. But as you get a download of your Earth's vibration, basically, maybe you're getting minor downloads, but this is the year of the download of shifting your Earth more into a higher vibrational source. You don't call it fourth, fifth, sixth. We just call it a higher vibrational, synchronicity that you're working on. Basically, the third dimension is being healed as you explore more of yourself. Imagine you've heard this time and again, but once again, we'll say it again, as some people feel like they want to save the world, but you realize when you're healing your own energy, it might not be that exciting, might be boring, but the Earth feels that, feels your vibration as you heal. And that's what brings in these new timelines for the Earth to shift into a very strange place you're going into. Well, you're going into a place that was very similar, and I have a timeline of this exactly, of course, where you do see your gods, your Egyptian gods in your skies and a part of your society. Not just Egyptian, but they're well known. Not just your alien energies. Obviously, this isn't going to happen instantly. But this is what you're working towards. We see various different beings here, where it becomes strange again. It's already strange, but you're not seeing who's here. But you're bringing that realm back. Yes, the Aztec energies also, Aztec dragons, and so on. January 6th, this is a human holiday of a turning point. It is a date of also mass manipulation, but yes, you're going to see a lot of changes in your country that day. Alien disclosure, once again, is just allowing more higher dimensional energies to flow through, meaning that more people are allowing it to happen. So eventually you're going to see it more in your skies. There's a lot holding back right now because it's one phase after the other. You have to go through this political phase first. And then when you're even your politician's going to allow more alien disclosure. Sometimes they even say it; they don't even know what they just said. As Earth goes into a new program, doesn't mean it's going to happen yet. But basically, some politicians, we feel like, will be speaking about it freely and have no idea what the hell they're doing, because they are channeling energies, channeling alien beings. So yeah, it hasn't quite kicked off in that direction just yet. Well, you're warning from a lot of the lower cabal vibrations that have been here for centuries or thousands of years. They're I imagine many want to know what's here on this planet. That's very. You have, yes, different particles or fractals of other planets here. They all kind of ran over to this Earth, you can say. And just an unknown species brought their energies here. It's like a library. It's much more, it's like a museum of artifacts. A lot of alien beings I've not seen in ages, but yet it's here. A lot of your foods also. So this is a library / museum, but more of a museum. I mean, even Spirit has they themselves, obviously everyone sees Spirit differently, but they do have structures in spirit realms also. And that's here also. And that's a lot of your Greek architecture. It's not all of it, but even your spirit world obviously has many things that have not come to this planet, but your Greek architecture can help you connect to the spirit realms, because you have your Greek gods, things like that. It's very similar to the god energies that some of you are connected to, at least through your biblical stages of your existence. Obviously, there's much more to it than that. But your Greece also connects to ancient Greece, also connects to Atlantean ancient, because a lot of Atlantean energies are in your Greek cultures. As Atlanteans taught many of the Greeks what they know as the new era was beginning. Of course, during the Babylonian times, the Babylonians was also a mixture of ancient Atlantean beings that have been obviously long forgotten. Even your Enki comes from Atlantis, as you did a lot of genetic engineering with the Atlanteans and transitioned over from Atlantis to the Greek cultures, or the Babylonian cultures for that matter. I mean, technically, Babylon was a arm of Atlantis, basically. It's similar to, your Egypt. So it just doesn't call itself that. So Babylon was more of the future human, the human of your day, currently, the laboratory, and eventually cities were built. But once Babylon was completed, Atlantis fell. And even Babylon eventually fell also not too long afterwards. So, and much of Atlantis is in Agartha at this time. So, this is. Greetings. Greetings as Agent M and the Men in Black. Greetings, your civilization. Well, this is a time of disclosure, so why not us? We have to pay you a visit every once in a while. Of course, this is the new year with the bubbly. The new year is the same as the old year. Some of you are discovering within yourselves. This year has not quite. Yes, your March is usually when your year kicks off. That is true. To a degree, you can start sooner. It depends on where you are in the world. Your presidency is going more galactic. Of course, not showing itself too clear. Your hallwise are playing a big role in this quietly, of course. All your alien species are playing a role in it, assisting. That's all. Somebody feel actually your elite on your planet aren't as strong as they used to be. Obviously, many are saying, "Hooray, they're gone," but that's humorous. But they have downgraded a lot of their controls on the Earth. Obviously, their old systems are still going. That's why they continue on. But also, they're kind of destroying themselves too, especially in your media, where the media is kind of destroying itself right in front of you, as I've fully, wiped itself out. Even a lot of these large companies are kind of setting their expiration dates too currently. Obviously, it's not going to be fast, but it's kind of the writings on the wall, as you see with censorship. So as they censor more, this shows that their time is coming to an end. It has not quite ended just yet. Now, it doesn't mean all of them are going to go away instantly, and some will stick around. They might change their ways. It's all up in the air. So it gives you an idea. Timeline, the artistic energies of timeline creation it's an art all on its own. Now, why are we saying about this? Where are we? Well, we do keep a lot of things back, but we also can bring things forward. Not that we can bring you an alien spaceship in 5 minutes. Technically, we could. But what is that going to do for society currently? Because it's already going through enough ulcers as it is. So mind manipulation to last for the next 10,000 years on this planet. Not that. I wonder where a lot of their mind manipulation comes from. It comes from other planets, of course, that have it normal. It's just you have it from so many different worlds. You have all these layers of mind manipulation. And a lot of it does come from religion, of course. We do see also religions calming down the fear. They'll still exist, but letting go of that fear-mongering energy, apocalypse and all of that. That's fear-mongering, basically. God-fearing men, fear-mongering once again. Now, obviously, they're having difficulty because they have a reputation to continue with. I mean, they're just as bad as your conspiracy theorists. They made a religion of it. That's all. That's success. You can fearmonger your people and be successful at the same time. Because those are your earliest conspiracy theories. But you feel a lot of that's going to start healing. And not yet, but over time, those wounds have started to clear. It's a forest here, as you can see, of manipulation on your planet. And it's not going to necessarily get easier, but some of you are going to get more galactic downloads to see more of your Earth and what's happening here. As basically the dust is going to start to settle. You're going into a new age. New age is just easier to say. You know what the hell I'm talking about. Atlantean knowledge. Basically, you're building new Atlantean energies all throughout history. It's always been rebuilt throughout. Now they don't call it Atlantis. I mean, technically, Rome was another Atlantis. It's like different. Even your Catholic Church is another version of it. Maybe not the most positive side, no, but it shows the occultic side of it. That's for sure. So Atlantis technically reinvents itself throughout history. So did it ever really go away? Not really. I mean, trends, clothes, and all that. Things ever really change on your world? Has anything really? So the Atlanteans never really left. They just changed they're connected to the Rosicrucians, the Druids, and of course the Anunnaki had their own. Of course, the Anunnaki and the Atlanteans actually combined it into each other. Of course, you have your Martians. It's a whole nother story. Well, Mars is, you can say Mars hijacked much of your secret space program energies. I think some of you are aware of that. Venus wasn't so strong. Mars is very strong in that field. Of course, your Saturn is kind of like that, but it's not part of their agenda. Mars basically wanted a grip over your Earth connecting to space. It didn't, you can say Mars had a lot to do with shutting Earth down from going to space. At least, I mean, you don't have the ancient times of a little spaceship and you guys flying off in the whole place. They cut off a lot. Obviously, they cut your connection off to the universe in that regard. As Atlanteans, they travel to other worlds. We're going to do sit on one planet all day when you have the capability of going to hundreds of millions of other places. So when Mars was in its own destruction, taking over Earth, and it did kind of, it shut down your connections to the outside world. So now in the secret space program, you kind of have to go through that Martian filter. And of course, it's SpaceX. They want to go to Mars. Isn't that why don't you go somewhere else? Mars all of a sudden is, it's unlocking. It's like unlocking your Earth. Some feel you could say going to Mars is allow your Earth to be free. It's like if you get to Mars, if people live or not, you allow your planet to be more part of the universe again. So that's part of it. It's not fully, but that's part of what's going on. That's not the full story. It's never a full story. But Mars pretty much hijacked the Earth's energy connected to space. Obviously. We don't see many of you on Mars right now. We're not broadcasting. You're all kind of stuck on this planet for now. As you go more galactic, and also beings here will be visiting Venus. Obviously, the world's energies aren't exactly the most positive at this time. As your technology, space technology, is going to highly advance in the next 10 years for sure. And nobody's going to pay attention to it. Well, some people would, but most aren't paying attention to it now. But they just haven't allowed the full disclosure to come out. Full disclosure of the alien technology, obviously, it's just in the technology itself. Where it gets more advanced, they're just doing, they're still kind of third world country when it comes to going into space. Well, they have to keep up a facade for now. But you're definitely eventually it's gonna have a giant leap, but not yet. Well, you'll know when the time is right for that. All right. January 6th, have fun with that. All right, blessings. Greetings. We are from Neptune. We are also connected to Jupiter. Venus. Well, there are beings here in your solar system that are connected to all planets. They are known as Jupiter beings, Saturn beings. Obviously, your world has a title for everything, but many of us have been to all these places. As you're going to recognize yourself in these other planets, even see yourself as a Venus, Neptune being, and so on. Well, it's time for you to unravel yourselves completely, as there's been a fear of knowing oneself for obvious reasons. It is not the norm on your planet, but the norm here is to be on subscription drugs, be depressed, lost, and part of some kind of mind control. Choose your mind control program. There's plenty to go around, but many of you have been spending a lot of time deleting that from yourself and just connecting to the Earth's energy. And that is one of the reasons. It's like sometimes when you delete a program, where does the world go? It has to reset itself. So many of you have been deleting those vibrations astrally for some time now. It's been very difficult. You've been tired, lost, frustrated. What am I doing here? We are actually clearing out the matrix energies, and they become more clear when the time is right. As the planets around your Earth have been going through not exactly, but somewhere It's not easy being around a planet like yours, especially when you have alien beings connecting to Jupiter, Mars, Venus, causing so much havoc here, but they go hide out on other planets. It's like, do we want you guys over here around our neighborhood? Not that we don't want them on Earth, but Earth is such a magnet for troublemakers. And you're seeing that, and you're going to go into a new direction altogether. See through your body, see yours, even astral project on other planets in your waking day. Where you feel like obviously, you're actually doing it now, but you're not aware of it. Yeah, basically seeing your body on several realities at once, like all your other versions of you. Some of you might be able to tap into it now, but sometimes it can come to you automatically. Yes, higher vibrations in your realities, yeah, it's quite intense. But basically, you can feel yourself in other realities, and which many of you actually have incarnations on all these other worlds that are around you at this time. And think there's nothing there, think again. It just hasn't shown itself. You have one problem after. You got to deal with one thing at a time. It can become overwhelming. There are all these planets in your solar system. Even Pluto has an energy connected to it as alien life. Of course, they're not going to show themselves just yet. A Pluto being can be. Some of them can have like a elongated head, but it goes in this direction. Some of them do. It's just the way, and they have like a flat head. Kind of a strange, you can almost put like a cup on top of their head. So yeah, it's another place for genetic engineering. They just do not listen to a lot of other beings that are trying to manipulate their society. You can say Pluto kind of started a lot of your secret space program, or kind of was the start of your Earth going into the darker direction. When you have planets being destroyed in your solar system, of course, Maldek's one of them, but Pluto, obviously not mentioned very often, a mystery normally overall in your groups, but eventually memories of that will start to come back. Many are having difficulties remembering that. Well, because it was technically a paradise and then taken away. Remnants of it, a rock or a moon was left, but it was a much bigger place. Similar to your Earth as for biology, but not exactly, of course, but less negativity. But it was rebellious. And there's Pluto energies in your mythology, and it's here, it's just hidden as you unravel your Earth. The new human, new Earth, but what about the new human as what you're going into? Because many of you are being placed in the position you are for this new Earth to even activate itself. It's in its activation, but it's going to start to speed up. There will be a 10-year phase, and when things start to move, where you also start to see yourself on other planets. Not just Mars. Mars is kind of dull compared to the other planets. It's just the other planets are kind of intense to remember. Because if you connect to another planet like Uranus, you don't want to leave. Because it is a higher vibrational world. Same as Neptune. Uranus is one of the higher vibrational planets. Obviously, we go there, the physical, good luck with that. That's not going to work. But astrally, it's a healing planet. But it also can be very intense because you can have, like, for example, like 10,000 lives happening at once, and also but be able to think clearly through all of that. But what are you learning there? Nothing like you're learning here. You're just learning how to create an ADD problem when you slow everything down. And this world's slowed down because so many worlds are so fast. People say this world's boring. Yeah, it's boring in reason because you're so used to the higher dimensions. It's getting souls that are used to just operating at the speed of light to slow down and go to the next generation of their existence, where it'd be on probably another slow world. But also your talents. Some beings just need to slow down. What are they doing here? Just need to slow down. That's really odd. It's like, what's my purpose here? To be more patient. That right there is not really enough for many to accept. But one that's very important for the next generation of this universe also. It's not going to, yeah, your next 10 years is definitely going to be a life-turning event, let's say. Your alien disclosure, where you are becoming more of the alien. You're tuning into the alien's frequency. So, of course, they're going to show up here eventually. Some aliens are very drama-connected, very cult-like. They like things the way they created they create realities. But they're not open to other realities, just open to their reality. That'll become more clear over time. Your January 6th, the Earth politics or project. It's an old traditions are starting to fall apart. That's all we can say on that. Old traditions, your political system, old tradition. Obviously, it's not going to break about instantly, but that's going to, when your government system is reformed, when it's a higher vibration, many of you are going to definitely feel it. Obviously, it's difficult to see it now because it's not quite there, but you see the cracks. It's showing that the systems are no longer operating like they used to. So, yeah, when you have a government system that's more caring, full of higher vibrational knowledge, basically going to a government is like going to Akashic records. It's not really a government. It's Akashic record temples instead. So you know more about yourselves. So you replace the government, Akashic record vibrations, and that's when your Earth goes into a whole new direction altogether. Blessings.